Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Thank you, one and all. I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. Let me see who was here first. Karen Williams, thank you so much for being here first. Hey, Helen Marmon, peace and joy. Noluthando, Niandeni, Emma D, and a whole bunch of other people. Grace Chisholm, Esmeralda Dillon. All right. Okay, so let's get on with it, shall we? Um, so I believe it was um, Connie Bomer who was asking earlier about Harry. What about the Sentebale? Well, I um, I didn't realize that Prince Seeiso had also resigned. So this is going to be interesting, right? Let me see. Captain Caligal, Cars V, Sharon Skinner, Tara Levette, thank you so much for being here. Jetstar. Okay. Um, there we go. We got the slides. Wow, I tell you, it's like a feeding frenzy today. So much news. Well, let's see if we can try to sort this out. I intend to make myself most comfortable. Let's see here. Okay, I got Big Mama. Welcome back. All right. So Sentebale, what happened? Good question. What happened with Sentebale? Um, well, there's a lot of infighting going on. Why don't we just start there? There seems to be a lot of infighting. And I know that that phrase seems to be a blanketed thing where it just seems to encumber, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, lots of different things. But I'm gonna I'm gonna use two different news sources to try to figure this out. Plus, there was a statement, I believe, that was made on behalf of both Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. Okay. Wow. Celebrating 19 years. Do you guys realize that Sentebale has been around for 19 years? 19 years. That is a long time. That's about half of Harry's life. I believe Harry was, what was he, 19 years old? When I believe when he co-founded Sentebale. But either way, this has got to be devastating for him. And also devastating for people that depend on Sentebale, because the last thing you want to hear is that there's uncertainty, right? So I'm going to share this with you. There you go. Celebrating 19 years. And that was, what was the date? That was March the 17th. That was very recent. On this day, which of course was March the 17th, in 2006, Sentebale was officially registered in the United Kingdom, beginning a journey of impact that has transformed hundreds of thousands of young lives. The very first young people we engaged with are now adults, building families, shaping communities, and contributing to society. Over the years, Sentebale has remained a constant source of support, standing alongside more than 78,000 children and young people just in the past 16 months alone. Through changing times, our mission has remained the same to enable vulnerable, that is, children and young people to thrive. Today, we are celebrating the lives changed, the communities strengthened, and the unwavering commitment to everyone who has been part of this journey. Join us in celebrating 19 years. Oh, man, 19 years. But as we well know, there are so many things that happens, whether it's a private sector organization or a charity or a governmental body. There's a lot of things that can go wrong because when you get down to it, it's just people. It's people helping other people or employing other people, governing other people, whatever the case may be, whatever the purpose of an organization. At the end of the day, it really just comes down to people. And people are truly, truly human. And we're capable of quite human things like um, letting another human being down or lifting up another human being. All of those things can and will happen. So, anyway, I was, let me see, who do I want to go with as a trusted news source here? Question is, can you trust anybody? Mm, um, oh, well, no, I don't trust them. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's even worse. I was hoping that one of the trusted American news sources might have some information on this, but they do not. So let's just go with the Times. I know the Times. They cannot be trusted, but we'll try to pick it apart and see what's going on here. So, and also this includes the statement from Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. Devastated. Prince Harry leaves his own charity in solidarity with board. The Duke of Sussex and his co-founder, Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, have stepped down as patrons of Sentebale after trustees quit over dispute with the new chair. Well, that could mean a lot of things, but let's go on, shall we? Hey, Cookies and Cream, welcome back. The Duke of Sussex has made the devastating decision to resign from his charity, Sentebale, amid unthinkable infighting in the organization. Prince Harry, who established the African charity in 2006, has quit in solidarity with his co founder. The entire board of trustees, after the relationship between the charity's trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation. In an extraordinary joint statement, which is yet to be officially released, Harry and his co founder, Prince Seeiso of Lesotho, wrote, what transpired is unthinkable. God, I don't like the sound of that. We are in shock that we have to do this. Sentebale, which means forget me not, is in a state of crisis, and the Times understand that it is now the subject of a charity commission investigation. I don't like the sound of that. Harry set up the charity with Prince Seeiso, whose mother died in 2003 after visiting the landlocked country of Lesotho. During his gap year in 2004, Sentebale was created to help people in Lesotho and Botswana living in poverty and those suffering from HIV and AIDS. However, in a joint statement, they said nearly 20 years ago, we founded Sentebale in honor of our mothers. Sentebale means forget me not in Lesotho, the local language of Lesotho, and is what we've always promised for young people we've served through this charity. Today is no different. With heavy hearts, we have resigned from our roles as patrons of the organization until further notice. In support of solidarity with the Board of Trustees, who have had to do the same, it is devastating that the relationship between the charity's trustees and the chair of the board broke down beyond repair, creating an untenable situation. Last night, a spokesman for Sentebale said that the charity had carried out a restructuring of its board as confirmation of its strategy to deploy senior roles to be proximate to most of the team and programs in Southern Africa. It is understood that the row is centered around the chair of the board of trustees and a decision to focus fundraising largely in Africa. So, again, it is understood that the row is centered around the chair of the board of trustees and the decision to focus fundraising largely in Africa. So, I'm not sure what that means. It sounds like most of the fundraising was taking place outside of Africa, perhaps. Sophie Chandaka, a Zimbabwe born lawyer, was appointed to the post last year and is understood to be suing the trustees after they questioned whether she was best placed to chair the board. My. Siding with the departing trustees, the prince's statement said these trustees acted in the best interest of the charity in asking the chair to step down while keeping the well being of staff in mind. In turn, she sued the charity to remain in this volunteer position, further underscoring the broken relationship. So, Sophie Chandaka was in a volunteer position, if I understand that correctly. And she, by profession, is a lawyer. And so she sued to stay in that position. But from what I gather, both Prince Harry, Prince Seeiso, and the board of trustees stepped down. Now, I don't know who the chairperson is right now, but this sounds very serious. We thank all the trustees for their service over the years and are truly heartbroken they've had to follow through with this act. What transpired is unthinkable. Now, what does that mean? We are in shock that we have had to do this, but we have to continue responsibility. We have continued responsibility to Sentebale's beneficiaries. So we will be sharing all of our concerns with Charity Commission as to how this came about. Although we may no longer be patrons, we will always be as founders. So I believe that is coming from Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. If that is an authentic statement, although we may no longer be patrons, we will always be as founders, and we will never forget what this charity is capable of achieving when it is in the right care. The Charity Commission confirmed on Tuesday that an investigation is underway. A spokesman said, "We can confirm that we are aware of concerns about the governance of Sentebale. We are assessing the issues to determine the appropriate regulatory steps. Chandaka um, has refused to step down, forcing the resignation of the charity's trustees, including Mark Dyer, who served as an equerry to the king in the 1990s and has been a lifelong friend of Prince Harry. In a joint statement, the former trustees, Tim Boucher, Mark Dyer, Audrey, let's see, Cosidinci, Kalelo Larotholi, and Damian West said, as group of British and African trustees, we have made the difficult decision to unanimously resign as board members of Sentebale. We are deeply proud to have supported the visionary work of the founding patrons, Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry, who founded Sentebale in memory of their mothers. For 2 decades, Sentebale has championed hundreds of thousands of children and young people, providing them with care, training, and life skills, which not only benefited each individual child they supported, but their families and their communities as a whole. Today, the decision is nothing short of devastating for all of us, but we see no other path forward as the result of our loss in trust and confidence in the chair of the board. Who the hell is the chair of the board? Our priority has always been and will always be what's in the best interests of the charity, and is desperately sad that the breakdown in relationship escalated to a lawsuit by the chair against the charity to block us from voting her out after our request for her resignation was rejected. My. We could not, in good conscience, allow Sentebale to undertake that legal and financial burden and have left with no option but to vacate our positions. This is not a choice willingly made, but rather something we felt forced into in order to look after the charity. Our sincere hope is that with this decision, the road ahead steadies for the sake of our staff and the community we serve. Sentebale is simply too important to us. Last night, a spokesperson for Sentebale said that the charity had not received notice of the prince's resignation, meaning Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry. He added that the recalibration of the board was part of Sentebale's ambitious transformation agenda. While Sentebale has appointed new members to the board, the princes will be less easily replaced. Harry traveled to Africa last year to support the charity and in December attended an event for the charity in New York. However, there were already reports that all was not well. Okay. At the time, the charity, after it moved its operation to Africa, and several key figures left the organization. Oh boy. Richard Miller quit as chief executive in December after 5 years in the role. He was replaced by Johannesburg based Carmel Gaillard, who was asked to deliver a strategic transformation of the charity. At the time, Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso, the younger brother of Lesotho, Leslie III, said, this shift reflects our continued commitment to being guided by voices from within the region we serve. We sincerely thank Richard for his pivotal role in steering our organization toward this important evolution. Oh, well, that's almost the entire article. Oh, okay. Well, what do you guys think of that? What do you all think of that? Now, Grace Chisholm said that is fake news, but this is in the works since 2021. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Some cookies in. Oh. Uh, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know that it's 100% official that Harry and Prince Seeiso have stepped down. Hi, cookies and cream. Oh, had to pee, did you? You're not gonna stay. You just had to. Okay. I'm just being silly. I don't know. Let me see. Speculative reporting. Yeah. So you're saying what's happening with Sentebale isn't a coincidence. All right. Well, um, it's not just the Times. There seem to be um, several news organizations, including the BBC, that is carrying the story. Sky News, BBC, and of course the Fail, which makes everything sounds horrible. Um, but so far, I have noticed that the only place you find this is in the UK and Australian news. So that right there is something to be suspect of. There is the Independent. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, but so far it's not like everyone is carrying the story. So that is a bit suspect right there. It's not like everybody is carrying the story. Mm, and from what I can gather, the one that is suing seems to be the lady that is always at the fundraising events. Okay. I don't know what that means, but she's the one who's always at the fundraising events. Now, it is said that she also issued a statement, whatever that means. Whatever that means, she also issued a statement. But she's at every fundraiser. I've noticed that. Now, Dr. Sophie, I'm going to share with you her statement. Okay. Oh, wait, let me pull this down here. Okay, let me share with you Dr. Sophie. Dr. Sophie Chandaka statement in full. Now, this is her words. I choose to join Sentebale first and foremost as a proud African who understands that in the spirit of Ubuntu, um, that means because you are, I am, and because I am, you are. Isn't that what that means? Ubuntu? I know I've seen that before. Excuse me. To whom much is given, much is expected. Oh, maybe that's what it means. Anyway, everything I do at Sentebale is in pursuit of the integrity of the organization, its mission, and the young people we serve. My actions are guided by principles of fairness and equitable treatment for all, regardless of social status or financial means. There are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people. Now, again, these are said to be the words of Dr. Sophie Chandaka. There are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people, and then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Discerning readers will ask themselves, why would the chair of the board report her own trustees as the charity commission, why to the charity commission, I'm sorry. Why would the High Court in England and Wales accept her application to hear the matter at all if the case had no merit? Again, that is her statement. Then it continues, well, because beneath all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated to press is the story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogynoir, and the cover up that ensued. I could be uh, I could be anyone. Yeah, I could be anyone. I just happen to be an educated woman who understands the law and will guide the law that will guide and protect me. I will say nothing further on this matter at this time. I have one job. I must focus on fundraising for the very important work of the young people who inspire the incredible team at Sentebale, who make sacrifices daily at a time when geopolitics is severely impacting funding for development work in Africa. She goes on to say, for me, this is not a vanity project for which I can resign when I am called to account. I am an African who has had the privilege of a world class education and career. I will not be intimidated. I must stand for something. I stand for those other women who do not have the ways and means. I am indebted to those who have stood by me and picked up my urgent call for help so we so that we can continue the mission at Sentebale. I will continue to faithfully perform my role as chair of the board. And I look forward to the opportunity to work with others who are interested in issues of health, wealth, and climate resilience for young people in Africa. Now, again, those are the words of Dr. Sophie Chandaka. Um, I don't know if I have a picture of her, so I'm going to share you the one that I see here, if you don't mind. Give me just a second. But yeah, she's the one who is at most, if not all of the fundraising events that I have seen take place. Okay. Okay, there we go. That is, and I hope I'm saying her name right. That is Dr. Sophie Chandaka. And that is the statement that I just shared in full. Oh, let me see. These men raised millions for years. I believe abuse of power and money and greed, those three are always a factor. By the way, Baron, what you just read, she sounds like the Devil Wears Prada type. Oh, okay. Okay, let me see. Oh, you think it comes from Salty Island? It is very general. It is. It's very general statements, or as you say, platitudes. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it. But if it is true that Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry have stepped down, as well as the board of trustees, um, are they saying that the new? Well, no, no, no. I guess that's not right. Somebody wants the fundraising to take place in Africa. They want it to take place in Africa instead of outside of Africa. Am I right about that, or did I miss anything? Whatever the case may be, I'll just say how I feel. Because I love and trust Harry, I'm sure that this has nothing to do with him. Harry has several jobs and he supports several not for profit organizations, including his own foundation. Um, Harry is not more involved with Sentebale, and I won't say that he's less involved with it, but Harry has a lot of irons in the fire right now. I'm just really sad to hear about all of this because, and I'm going to share some photos with you later. Um, but things seemed so different last October. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, is she? You know what? You know what? Let me check because um one thing I learned from Petal of Facts and Two Cents is that you can't really trust those MBEs. Not to say that she is untrust. Uh-oh. Yep, I see it. I see it. Sophie Chandaka, MBE, is a Zimbabwe-born corporate finance lawyer, entrepreneur, and head of America's risk management and intelligence at Meta, uh, as in Facebook Meta. Previously, Chandaka was global COO of shared service and banking operation at Morgan Stanley, based in New York. And prior to this, she was CAO of legal and compliance division of Morgan Stanley. In other words, a big corporate bank. Oh boy. Okay. You know what? You know what? She has a fine education, and I'm not saying that she is the problem, but oh boy, I wouldn't be at all surprised if Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso step down. Sir Pegalot is somehow going to step in and take over. He wants everything that Harry has. He wants him destroyed. And we also know that Lazy, Prince Lazy so and so, Prince William, we know that Prince William has made a very loud declaration that Africa is his. Remember that. He said that Africa is mine. So, okay, you guys, I promise you, I had no conclusions about this whatsoever. But do you see how, in just a couple words, everything has taken on a whole different mood? And that is what is so valuable about the Sussex squad, is that together we tend to work some things out. So thank you all for that. And whatever your thoughts or opinions, throw them up there in the chat. Let me see. Who wants Sentebale to only raise money in Africa? Who? Charles or Willie? This is to stop Harry from traveling to other countries. Ooh, to raise money. So, who wants to dictate Harry's movements? Okay. Well, um, if I can quote the world's most ridiculous mushroom hairdo, that mushroom haircut, um, I thought she just made it up. I thought she was just exaggerating. But she did say that when they were taking the picture, that Meghan wanted to be in a certain position, and she took her elbow and she just used her arm and she went, uh, uh. Maybe that was something she didn't make up. Maybe there was a reason to go, I don't know. I'm just being silly about that part, but this is interesting because when I first saw it, I wasn't sure what to think. Oh, you guys are so sharp. Esmeralda says, Baron, with her corporate pedigree, she is a force that won't give in. Okay. Okay. Oh boy. I don't like this for one very good reason, and that is I do believe that this is like probably the first um thing that Harry founded away from that family, right? That this has been like the longest commitment that he's had in his adult life was to Sentebale. I'm just asking. I don't know 100% for certain, but I do smell a rat. I do smell a rat. Okay. Well, we're going to hear some more about this soon. Let me see what else I have here. Um, so, as you can see, the times, which I just shared with you. And of course, that is the very familiar Sentebale or Sentebale logo. And well, right here you can see it says Prince Harry thanks controversial Sussex squad for a boost to his Sentebale charity. Army of social media followers have previously been in spotlight after some members indulged in online abuse of the Duke's critics. You damn right we did. Now what? Now what? Huh? Now what? Anyway, uh, you know what I'm saying? What? What? Now what? An army of social media followers that is have previously been in the spotlight after some members indulged in online abuse of the Duke's critics. Not critics, haters. Okay? Not critics, but trolls. Okay? Trolls. Right? April May saying, you got that right. And we'll do it again. Now what? We are the sausage squad and we ain't having it. As a matter of fact, who was that? They called us those vile individuals. Huh? They referred to us as, um, have you ever heard of those vile individuals known as the a sausage squad? Yes, those vile individuals known as the Sausage Squad.
Thomas, I wanted to ask you about these vile individuals who refer to themselves as the Sussex Squad.
So I come to my dad's house and start going through it, and I look on YouTube, and my God, I see the Sussex Squad and the Royal Sussex page on YouTube and the things they post, and that's where I found that disgusting video making fun of my father just because he's going to the Jubilee. I mean, and if you look on the Royal Sussex page on YouTube, you're going to see exactly whose it is. It's definitely Meghan Markle. And if it's not her personally, she's definitely paying somebody to do it.
Excuse me. You know what? Sometimes you have to get in there. Sorry, I drank the wrong way. Okay. Sometimes you have to get in their heads. You know what I mean? You have to get in their heads to undermine their confidence. Get them nervous and they start tripping all over themselves. Okay, so proud to be part of the Sausage Squad. And there's the Daily Telegraph, the Daily Fail. Devastated Harry quits his own charity over infighting. Now, you would think it was enough for the Daily Mail to use those terms, right? It gets worse. This is just about the founding patrons. This was last October. Harry was there last October. If you guys remember, he had, what was it, the September to Remember in the UN, the United Nations, where he took a meeting for Sentebale and for some other groups and organizations and such. I think it was like 8 things that he did while he was in New York. I was so impressed. That seems, in my opinion, to be one of Harry's most impressive performances, was going to New York alone. Well, I'm sure he had his people with him, but he just went from room to room, place to place with all of these huge world figures. I guess you could say he was a global statesman. Yeah, I think you could say he was a global statesman. And this is Harry having a meet and greet. I mean, he was just magnificent. I hate to refer to it as a performance, but it was a magnificent performance. I don't know that I've ever been that proud of Harry before in my life, but it was fantastic. First the UN, and then it ended with the trip to Lesotho and was it Zimbabwe? Anyway, it that's where it started. Ended. And this is Harry. He covered a lot of ground. I just grabbed a few random photos to share with you. Yes, Prince Harry genuinely loves Africa. Hopefully, he and Prince Seeiso will band together and establish a new charity. Africa needs it. Well, I'm hoping that it will be possible to work with the old charity, because every time you establish a new charity, so much of the money is going toward administration. And one thing I've learned about not-for-profits is that if you have 2 organizations that are doing the same thing, it's always better to have just everything under one umbrella, because it gets more of the charity and aid to the people who needs it the most, instead of doing identical tasks in different physical locations. It's the reason why, oh gosh, what is his name? Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. It's the reason why he is leaving his fortune to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, because it's more important to him that the money goes as far as possible than establishing a charity in his own name. So I thought that was brilliant. And if I ever have that type of resource and ability, I'll do the same thing. It doesn't have to be in my name. It's not a vanity project. I do agree with that. But the money needs to go to the people. But thank you so much, Golfing Mom. And I do hope that they can, if it is necessary for them to establish another organization or charity, however they can help, and however Harry can stay involved with Africa, which is so important to him. And thank you for reminding us about Harry's love for Africa. Okay. And this was like my favorite part of that whole trip was the campfire. They all sat around that campfire on a cool starry night, and they talked about the world and how to help and all that. I thought it was just brilliant. I've never seen anything like that with any member of the royal family. This was so like intimate and so spiritual. The fact that they're all sitting around the fire. Love that. Now, the Daily Mail says devastated Harry quits. All right, that's not so bad. But you know what they say, just give it a minute. Just give it a minute. Now, are you ready for the big reveal? You want to see how it went from devastated Harry quits to something absolutely awful? Harry charity race row. Now, from what I just shared with you, I don't know how in the world is that a race row, but that is what the Daily Mail, I did not read the article, but that is what the Daily Mail believes, is that it was some type of race row. Don't know how, but it is a headline designed to invoke some like triggers for haters. Aha, there he is again. There's Harry in the middle of some kind of race row. Nothing could be further from the truth. I don't know what mental gymnastics they are using to imply such a thing, but like I said, this is why I save those, because it changes. It changes. They will go back and they will change things. And by now, who knows? They may have already thrown a different one up, but they'll change things. That's why I say it's always good to do a screenshot just in case they try to pull some crap. Always good. Oh, okay, they still have the same one. They still have this one. Chairwoman of his beloved African charity makes thinly veiled swipe at those who play victim card and accuse colleagues of harassment and misogyny after he quit amid bust up with her. Now, they don't say who he is, but we know it ain't Harry. So I think it's one of those people that we mentioned earlier. And I won't name the person, but I do believe it's one of those people that I mentioned earlier. And I think that person actually lives in the United Kingdom right now. That's what I think it means. But it's all alleged at this point. Well, you know, Renee, you know that they got to find photos that make people look as sinister as possible. They will find photos to make the other royals look innocent, and they will find photos to make other people seem like they are the worst of them all. So I'm not surprised by that. But I will say this. I will say this. She's a very intelligent woman, and she will probably do well wherever she lands. Now, remember, this is a voluntary role. I don't believe she gets paid for this, but it does afford a great deal of access, and it would seem as being the chair of the organization, um, it seems like there would be some kind of perks and benefits with that role other than a paycheck. So I don't know what to think of it. I am just I'm gonna be yeah, I'm just gonna just wait and see what happens. This is why I didn't talk about it earlier, because I knew we'd probably spend some time on it. Like as it is, we've been on this for nearly an hour. And yeah, unlike Rebecca English, she doesn't have to hang on for dear life just to cross her legs. She can just do it. Uh, okay. Okay. Her statement said it all. All right. Yeah, I'm concerned about Invictus. It's really strange that the board had chosen the UK for 2027. I believe that Vile family is going to try and sabotage Invictus Games. They want to take it over. Well, that would be quite the battle, considering that Harry really is the face of Invictus. And while he works very hard and he's very dedicated to making Invictus about other people and keeping the focus on the veterans and their families, I don't know that you can have one without the other. Um, so I don't think that they would try to take it over, but I do think they will um, try to make it fail. It's a very dodgy, dangerous thing to do, because if if they do try something, meaning that institution and the tabloid media, if they do try to do something that would um, cause problems for the Invictus Games, you have the military, you have veterans that surely want this to work. Now, there may be a few rotten apples within the ranks, even amongst the veterans, but I'm sure that it's going to be okay. I'm sure that because it has to do with the military, that they're going to make sure that it goes well. I think the only thing that you have to really worry about is that they're going to try to create some embarrassment to distract from the success of the games. And if they would dare try to not cover the event, then I would say yes, for certain the fix was in, as they did with the Invictus Games in Vancouver Whistler. So, okay. I work in surgery. Every time they put those 5-degree people in charge, they come in and try to put their stamp on things. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. The one part that sticks out with me is this notion that we want to move the fundraising to Africa, right? That is, who wants to move the fundraising to Africa? Why is that so important? Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, now they are going before a a governmental agency in the UK about a charity that is for Africa. And maybe that's what the problem is that that organization in the UK may be influenced by people in the UK, like members of the royal family and such. So when they said that there was going to be a lawsuit, when they said that, or at least that they're going to sue, and the idea that some governing board of whatever, and the idea of a whistleblower and such, who are you blowing the whistle to? Is it some agency in the UK? I mean, it is essentially an African charity, but is it like registered in the UK? Is that what I'm hearing? So, I'm just gonna, like I said, keep an open mind, and I'm gonna do a lot of listening. And you know what I'm thinking right now? This is a case for Petal. Petal, facts and 2 cents. If there is anything that is inconsistent, I'm telling you, I pity the fool. Because when Petal get through coming down on them like a ton of bricks, they are going to be in bad shape. Because when Petal is outraged, Petal could make a cop cry, okay? Petal could make a cop cry. Just imagine. Just imagine. So I don't know if anyone from Sentebale or whoever is orchestrating all of this apathy, but all I got to say is don't find yourself on the wrong side of Petal, because she's going to call you out. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not waiting for any newspaper. I'm not waiting for any type of board of directors. And I'm certainly not waiting for some governmental body. I'm waiting to see what Petal got to say. So all I can say is give them hell, Petal. Give them hell. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. The plot thickens, right? The plot thickens. Okay, Esmeralda. Like I say, I got an open mind. That's why I keep hearing this in my head. Is this thing about the fundraising being centered in Africa, that it should be in Africa. Which, okay, that's fine. But if it was founded, if this charity was founded for communities in Africa, but it was established someplace else, do we really want to rock the boat? Do we want to fix something that perhaps isn't broken at all? That's the only thing that makes my my eyebrow raise is who wants to move the fundraising to Africa, and why is that so important? That's all. And that's not to say that it shouldn't be in Africa, but why is suddenly that's such an important thing? Yes, after 19 years. After 19 years. Uh, See, I wish I had like a bat phone, right? Or a bat signal. Like I could take a spotlight and point it up in the sky. And then of course Pedo would chime in. Oh man, I'm telling you, somebody is gonna get their feelings hurt because Pedo is probably on the case right now. Pedo is in like all likelihood, Pedo is on the case right now. Uh-huh. Tangerine squeeze. Um, Listen, it has not escaped my notice that as the chairman, it seems like a position with a lot of perks, right? And it's not even to say that anything is untoward happening. I'm just saying that it is a way to, I guess, leverage power. And maybe that's the whole point of it is just power. It may not be for profit for the person who's aggravating this whole thing. It may be a real power move. Because think about it like this. You have all this education, right? And this education has brought you a lot of connections. So this is someone who has, in all likelihood, traveled the world several times, has traveled around this world several times, knows a lot of people. I mean, after all, she has a doctorate. So she's a powerful individual in her own right. So I don't suspect that there's any financial gain from this as much as it is power and leverage. That's what I'm thinking. But I have no explanation for why this is so important after 19 years. None. And you know what? You know what? I am suspicious about this whole thing that the Daily Mail has put together, but maybe they know something I don't. Maybe they know something we don't. Maybe the selection of those photos is not an accident. Mm. You guys, let's just let this play out. And I'm not just going to restrict my fact finding to pedal. I'm going to listen to a lot of people because I'd like to know. I like to know because, like a lot of the squatties, I have made a charitable contribution and I have a vested interest in what happens with Sentebale because of the love and respect and admiration I have for Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso. The fact that they set up this charity, founded this charity to honor and celebrate the lives of their mothers So it was done with the purest of heart. And I hate to see someone tear down what they have worked so hard to build up. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello. Is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. Hello. Hello. Senior Royal here. Is this the Daily Mail? I say, is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. My. Oh, what a twisted web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Well, when it comes down to it, it usually has to do with money. And if it ain't money, it's power. People who have all the money in the world, they also are hungry for power. Doesn't necessarily have to be the doctor. Who knows? But there's an undercurrent going on, and we'll get down to it. So I'm going to move on to something else. And that, of course, is about what happened earlier today. I'm going to just take a quick look at a few more of your comments here. What happened? I just heard on BBC 5 Live Radio. I hope that this woman is not about to start making rounds talking about Meghan. God, I hope not either. I don't see why she would. She shouldn't. Let me see. Yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of responsible people are squeezing her out. That's what it appears to be. But we don't know that Prince Seeiso or Prince Harry, that remember, they quit because of the infighting. It's not as far as I know, it hasn't been publicly said that it has anything to do with her as an individual, but that there seems to be conflict, you know. And so it just seems to me like everybody's going their separate ways. As far as I can tell, they wanted her to quit and she would not resign. She was interested in suing to keep her position. And so it seemed like everybody else decided to go their separate ways. That is what I have gathered. Sussex Teen Warrior. They probably uncovered her palace connections and want to decontaminate the charity. Do tell. Well, you guys, all of these things are alleged until we know better or until Petal tells us. Okay. All of this is alleged until we hear from Petal. And then we can say with certainty that's exactly what happened. So I am going to defer to Petal of Facts and Two Cents. And then once she comes to a conclusion, I am going to, in all likelihood, say, that's exactly what happened. Can't trust people nowadays. My. Okay. You guys ready to move on to something else? Because I did not think I was going to stay on much tonight because I was on earlier. Not that I'm tired or anything, but anyway, let's go here. So why Gwynny launched an all-out breakfast war on neighbor Meghan? Did she? Did she launch a breakfast war? Hey, legs. Now you come in. Let me go back. Legs. What do you know about this? What do you know about this? You have left me here alone, hemming and hawing, trying to figure out what's going on. Pedo hasn't talked about it yet. You know, whatever input that you want to share would be greatly appreciated. I'll give you a minute. Oh, Abby Rosemary says there will be a palace connection to this story. Well, as I said, you guys, someone pointed out that she has an MBE. Sophie Chandaka, if I'm saying it right. Oh my God, this girl has all kind of education. She's got all kind of education. Corporate financial lawyer or finance lawyer, entrepreneur, head of America's risk management and intelligence at Meta. Previously, Chandaka was global CEO of shared service and banking operation at Morgan Stanley based in New York. And prior to this, she was CAO, as at the legal and compliance division of Morgan Stanley at EMEA based in London. Before joining Morgan Stanley, she was the head of group treasury legal at Virgin Money in London. She began her career as a corporate finance lawyer and senior associate at Baker McKenzie in London. Following primary and secondary education in Harare, Zimbabwe, in 1994, Chandaka was selected to be sponsored by Rotary International to represent her country as a Rotary Youth Exchange student for a year in South STE, whatever that means, Marie, Ontario, Canada. Upon completion of her year in Canada, the Board of Trustees of Lake Superior State University in Michigan awarded Chandaka an academic scholarship for her undergraduate degree. In her third year of the undergraduate studies, while undertaking an internship with Association of Flight Attendants in Washington, D.C., she was awarded further scholarship. Oh, you guys, it just goes on and on. University of Birmingham, the College of Law of England and Wales, Oxford University, Oxford Brookes University. It goes on and on and on. Jeez Louise, that is a lot. I'll say this. For someone who has so many opportunities in the private sector, it does beg the question, why is it so important to you to maintain this position? Now, she says, as a proud African woman, and I'll take her at face value for that because I can't, I won't judge someone for their devotion to the motherland, to their homeland. Because there are a lot of people in Africa who wants Africa to be very modern and self-sustaining. And I agree with that, instead of all of these outside influences. But it just seems that if the charity was founded outside of Africa, if you want to have more input, more control, if you want pride of place, then start your own charity in Africa. Step down and let someone else fill that position, and then you're free to establish a charity that may work in a very similar way to Sentebale. You can start your own. It's not like she doesn't know people. Now, I'm just going to come out and say what I feel about this. We all know that the weight of Harry's place in this world is probably one of the best things you could have if you need to raise money. Harry is a powerhouse for raising funds. There's not many people that is on Harry's level when it comes to fundraising. So, okay, not to disparage the good doctor, but you may have feelings about the charity being outside of Africa, but if that's where you found it, maybe that's where it should stay. Let's see. Why would they say race row? They know what they are doing with this pathetic title. Well, Legs, let me show you this one. The original title was this: Devastated Harry Quits. And then you know how the Daily Mail is. If you give them enough time, it turns into something else. Okay? So I did share the statement from Dr. Let me just call her Dr. C, just to save time. I did share the statement that is said to be her full statement of the matter. And she says, I chose to join Sentebale first and foremost as a proud African who understands that in the spirit of Ubuntu, to whom much is given, much is expected. Everything I do at Sentebale is in pursuit of the integrity of the organization, its mission, and the young people we serve. My actions are guided by the principle of fairness and equitable treatment. Oh, let me put that up. Yeah. That way it seems more like it's coming from her directly. My actions are guided by principle of fairness and equitable treatment for all, regardless of social status or financial means. There are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people. And when they play victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Discerning readers will ask themselves, why would the chair of the board report her own trustees to the Charity Commission? Why would the High Court of England and Wales accept her application to hear the matter at all if the case had no merit? Well, because beneath all the victim narrative and fiction that has been syndicated to the press is a story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynoir, and the cover up that ensued. I could be anyone. So her beef appears to be with the trustees. Okay. Looks like her beef is with the trustees. That's what I gather so far. It happens to be, no, I'm sorry. I just happen to be an educated woman who understands that the law will guide and protect me. I will say nothing further on this matter at this time. I have one job. I must focus on fundraising for the very important work of young people who inspire the incredible team at Sentebale, who make sacrifices daily at a time when geopolitics is severely impacting funding for development work in Africa. For me, this is not a vanity project from which I can resign when I am called to account. I am an African who has had the privilege of a world class education and career. I will not be intimidated. I must stand for something. I stand for those other women who do not have the ways and means. And in closing, it says, I am indebted to those who have stood by me and picked up my urgent call for help so that we can continue the mission at Sentebale. I will continue to faithfully perform my role as chair of the board, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with others who are interested in issues of health, wealth, and climate resilience for young people in Africa. That is her statement, according to, hey, Duchess of Success. Maybe someone gifted you a membership, Madison. Oh, okay. There were a couple of people who purchased memberships earlier. Let me see exactly. Abby Rosemary, she got the founders and the board of trustees to quit. Something is up. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Woo! I don't know. I don't know. I hope and pray that she's not trying to pull Harry into this. I hope and pray she's not trying to pull Harry into this. I'm going to say it again. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done a lot of things for Sentebale, but chief among fundraisers is Prince Harry. If it wasn't for Prince Harry, I, in all likelihood, as well as a lot of other people, would know about Sentebale since Harry is one of the founders, along with Prince Seeiso. So, I don't know. Well, to be fair, these are supposed to be the words of Dr. Sophie Chandaka's. That's her statement in full. It says Dr. Sophie Chandaka's statement in full. So, in all likelihood, those are her words, not the Daily Mail. I don't know. I don't know where the race part comes in. I don't know where the race part comes in. Okay. Let me go back and tell you who has resigned. And when I tell you the names of the people involved, maybe, just maybe, it'll make sense. Uh, Let me see. Because one of the names was familiar to me, and it was not Harry's name that sticks out. So, in a joint statement, the former trustees, Timothy Boucher, Mark Dyer, Audrey Kagosi Dinsi, Kaleo Larotholi, and Damian West said, as a group of British and African trustees, we have made the difficult decision to unanimously resign as board members of Sentebale. We are deeply proud to have supported the visionary work of the founding patrons, Prince Seeiso and Prince Harry, who founded Sentebale in memory of their mothers. So I don't know if those names mean anything to anybody. I don't know if those names are in any way, associated with what she was saying. So those are I don't even know if that's the whole of the trustees. I don't know if there was a much larger group of trustees. Sister Hammerhead is corrupt and oh Lord. Not Sister Hammerhead. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know why that name stood out. I did not know why that name stood out. Okay. Well, so long as we all remember that this is all alleged. We have to remember that all of this is alleged. Oh, that's why ooh, okay. Now I saw him earlier. And I didn't know why they were talking about him. Ah, I did not make the association. Oh, you guys, isn't this getting kind of deep for this hour? Because this is well above my pay grade. This is well above my pay grade. Okay. Wow. And he's supposed to be the person who could bring Prince Harry and his brother back together, according to some of the tabloids. My. Now this is getting interesting. I just love the way y'all say that like that's her name, Sister Hammerhead. Let me see. Remember when William said, yes, Africa was, let me see. I don't know why this just seems fishy to me. They tried to come for Africa parks and haven't reported to. Okay. Now, that's what I was sitting here thinking about, was the whole thing with African parks. Now, that is one of those things that the trolls or the bots, every time something good happens, they start talking, well, what about the African parks? Now, in the software for YouTube, you can block that from the comments, which I have. I have blocked that. That's why you don't see that in the comment section, because I got tired of looking at people trying to throw that out there. So there's a whole bunch of words that I have blocked, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to reveal to you, that is one right there, because that has nothing to do with Harry. So this is, as a matter of fact, did Harry actually resign from African parks? I don't think he did, right? But this one, he has resigned. And maybe that was the goal in both instances, was to get Harry out of Africa, because Africa belongs to William. Africa is mine, according to William. Esmeralda Dillon, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you for being here tonight on Royal Sussex. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, thank you, Heather Stroud. I am here to learn. I am here to learn. I don't have all the answers. Oh, yes, so soon after the Visa Nothing Burger. You got a good point there. Well, I think that I think Sentebale is a charity registered in England. Hey, can someone check that and see where Sentebale is registered? If you can, just Google and try to find out where it's registered. That would be helpful, actually. Oh, okay. So Fine Bones 8 says it is registered in the UK, which is would make sense, because as she said in what is said to be her statement, is that she has that they have seen the merit in her case. If she's blowing the whistle to a government body in the UK, then it only stands to reason that this charity is registered in the UK. Okay. Now, Mark Dyer, I just saw something about him earlier. I'm pretty sure of that, but I didn't actually read the article. I didn't know what the heck it was about. I thought it was like another attempt to say that, that Charles is not his father. And I get triggered by that. So I didn't really care to stick around and figure out what that article was about. Now I wish I would have stuck around and figured it out. Oh boy. How Meghan Markle is trying to become a billionaire on her own after realizing she would struggle in the royal family, and who controls the firm's finances. Oh God, who? Okay, I don't know that particular columnist, but I tell you guys, they just sit around and just make up stuff. They literally do. They just speculate and make up stuff. And if it sounds in any way like it could be legitimate, that's good enough to write the story. That is good enough to go ahead and submit it for the editor and then put it out there. It doesn't even say, is Meghan trying to become a billionaire? It says how she's trying to become a billionaire. Pit tifo. Oh, okay. Okay, it says end of an era. As Prince Harry's second father quits his charity after almost 20 years. So apparently he's been with Sentebale from the beginning. Okay. Okay, the charity resists the chance to pay tribute to him, and 4 other trustees who departed this week, 2 of whom had been in post for only 3 years. Instead, it explains the changes are part of its evolution from development organization focused on addressing the impact of HIV/AIDS on the lives of children and young people in Lesotho and Botswana to one that is addressing issues of youth health, wealth, and climate resilience in South Africa. It is believed that Marco is a godfather to Archie, the older of Harry and Meghan's 2 children. So they don't know exactly who the godfather is, but they're going to say it's him. Okay. First I've heard that. Oh, wait. So they are admitting that Meghan is successful. Otherwise, why could they see her becoming a billionaire? Also, how are they complaining that she has her own money? I guess that's that they didn't want it. Okay. Yeah. Um, well, Legs, we always have to defer to Mark Cuban when we consider the future earnings for Harry and Meghan. We always are compelled to defer to Mark Cuban. Yes, indeed. And they are a $1 billion brand. I mean, Harry and Meghan already are making $1 billion. It's just they're not making it for themselves. Other people are making it because of the attention that they get. What's important now, or has always been important, is for them to make $1 billion to put in their own pockets. That's what I've been saying for the longest, is that I want them to just, what I want is for Harry and Meghan to have like a spare room that they just throw their money in, and like a pantry or something like that. And every so often when they need to, get a can of beans or whatever, they have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing on the door, which will not open much because it's all that money behind the door, $1 billion. That's how I want them. I want them flush with cash. So that way they will have all the security that they could ever need and the necessary protection for those babies. That's what I'm wishing for them. Okay. Let me see. Wasn't the wedding that Harry and Meghan didn't go to the wedding of the century? Wasn't that guy Archie, supposed godfather? They made a huff of. Oh, no, I thought that was the Duke of Westminster. I think that was the Duke of Westminster's wedding. Scrooge McDuck. Okay, now are you guys ready to move on? Because as much as I am enjoying the discoveries that we're making here, because we're putting our heads together, and I feel more informed because of it. I'm going to go on to the next thing. Okay, why Gwynny launched an all-out breakfast war on neighbor Meghan. Now, breakfast war is over. I didn't know that there was a war. I had no idea that there was a war. Meghan made, oh gosh, what was that? Anyway, I didn't know there was a war. Gwyneth Paltrow made a very traditional breakfast with biscuits, I think. A very traditional American breakfast. Gwyneth Paltrow appeared with no makeup on, and she went over and she pet her dog. And so people are saying that she was trying to come for Meghan. I do believe Gwyneth Paltrow has done things in the kitchen before, and that it was, that she is part of her brand. I do believe it is part of her brand. Mary H says, the last interview Prince Harry had, they truly see he has no intention of going back. Now they want to break him. They want him a broken man. Well, they better try harder. They had better try harder, because they no longer have the full cooperation of media outside of their sphere of control, meaning, of course, that things have gone much better in the US media. They have gotten to the point where they stopped talking about, the price of their house and associating every story with them stepping back from official royal duty. They have stepped away from that, the US media, finally. And I think that most instances, the Canadian media has been very respectful and considerate. So, as I said earlier, I was up in my feelings about Gwyneth Paltrow, and I was ready to go there. But since she and Meghan have seemed to establish in the full sight of the public that they are not at odds with each other, I am going to just leave that alone. I'm going to mind my business and stay out of it. Because Harry and Meghan, they're adults and they can handle their business. So I'm going to stay out of their business. So this was earlier. Clues everyone missed in Gwyneth Paltrow's juicy takedown of Meghan as insiders revealed to Alison Boshoff the very telling dinner party slight that says it all. Future students of social media will surely be writing dissertations on the extraordinary 31-second video of Paltrow making breakfast. Okay, I didn't know it was 31 seconds. How much could she have possibly packed into 31 seconds? I have no idea. And I'm thinking maybe I did see it and it went by so fast, I didn't know the difference. So ask me a question. I guess this is something that is part of Paltrow's brand, is the ask me a question. Are you comprehending the Meghan Markle beef that social media says you two have? Are you comprehending the Meghan Markle beef that social media says you two have? So if you have not seen that video as of yet, let me help you out because I just so happen to have it. Now, I'm not sure I can play that music, so I won't. This is what Meghan posted on her Instagram today.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
Okay, let's do that again. Let's do it again. Oh, you hear what I just did? Let's do it in the morning. Sweet dreams come summertime. Seeing your sweet face all laid up next to mine. I want to do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Okay. Sometimes the rain grooves me when I hear the sound. Like you and me, baby, getting down with the sounds around. Okay, I got that out my system.
I genuinely do not understand this at all whatsoever. Do you understand this?
My. So, what do y'all think? Yeah, thank you for that, Mary H. I do pray that for both Harry and Meghan, that the love and stability that is their home, the friendships that they have made and the friendships they had will sustain them, that they can look at those children in the face and feel a certain sense of peace in spite of everything that some very dark forces have thrown at them. I do pray that life is full of hope for them, because it cannot be easy to have these daily doses of hostility and the very public way that people come for them. I pray that they can navigate their way around those things so that it doesn't have the horrible effect that it would have on anybody else who was in their shoes. I do pray for that. But thank you, Mary H. It's very thoughtful of you. Yes, it is about business. It's about business. They don't have time for the nonsense. I am going to just assume that what I was thinking and feeling about Gwyneth Paltrow is just that she has a very sarcastic wit, and that things sound a certain way when it comes from her. Maybe that's all it is. Could this thing with Sentebale be because the Pope shut down a meeting with that family? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, they were supposed to meet the Pope, right? Let me see. Well, guys, they have some very powerful people. They have some very powerful people um, on their side, in their circle. And from the way things look from their point of view, it's probably very different from the way it looks for us. And we have to remember they have lawyers that handle a lot of things, that knows the limitations of the law and knows the advantages there are available for them. So um, they have the means to fight as well. They do have the means to fight um, things legally if it comes to that. I remember one time I had a terrible expense because something had went wrong with my car, and one of my closest, dearest friends said, "Well, thank God you had the money to get it fixed." Because there's been a many a times when I did not have money to get it fixed, and I had to be prepared to walk away from my car because I could not afford to maintain it. So, as far as the Sussexes are concerned, it is very stressful for anybody that would go through those things. But fortunately, they have the means to address these things, and that they could possibly get the best outcome available, or the best possible outcome, because of the connections that they made and the resources they have. Okay. So, this was shocking to me when I saw that the reel, because not only did Gwyneth Paltrow share it on her Instagram, but Meghan shared it as well. When I first saw that, I was like, "Shut the front door! What am I looking at?" I could not make sense out of it. I had to look at it again and again and again because I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I did. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. I'm like, "Wait a minute." And then I'm looking like, I want to make sure that this is not some kind of AI or a prank or something like that. But no, it's the real deal. Hmm. Okay. Oh, I'm on the wrong one, ain't I? There we go. So on the right side, that is the 31-second video. And I do believe I saw a body language expert trying to explain what Gwyneth Paltrow was. She does lean into the camera, doesn't she? And she has this smug look on her face, and um, she's full of herself, and she wants the audience to such and such, so and so. And I was just like, gosh, they're putting a lot. I did not know it was 31 seconds long because I mostly ignored it. I kept seeing it pop up on social media, but I wasn't interested in it. So yeah, I wasn't sure what that was about. I'm gonna go and see if I can find. I want to see if. Oh, you know what? It should be on her Instagram, right? I want to see. I want to see that Gwyneth Paltrow video. If I can find it. Because apparently there seems to be some hidden meaning there that I just did not see. That there was. Oh, is that a guy? Is that a guy? No, that's not a guy. Is it? Yeah, it is. Wow, he looks like a handsome broad. Okay. I was about to say that poor woman, whoever she is. Oh no, that was a woman. A guy. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's 20 weeks ago, so that cannot be it. I don't know when this alleged takedown took place, but I just want to see it for myself. All right, never mind. I don't. Oh, it's one more place I can look. I can look at the reels. Nope, I don't see it. Yeah, whatever it is, I missed it then. I don't know that I can find it, but it doesn't matter. It's not that important. Although I am very curious. I am very curious about it. Okay, Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. Let me see. Oh gosh, it's got music. I can't have that. Well, this is more than 31 seconds. Okay, she put some biscuits in the oven. Oh, you know what? This is not her video. Someone mixed it. I hate when people do that. That's why it looks weird. You guys, all I see her doing is putting biscuits in the oven. That's it. Yeah. I don't see the takedown. Oh, I'm sorry, Reba Henderson. I didn't try to put it on the screen. I knew it was only 30 seconds long, and I wasn't even sure. So I was just describing that it's just what you see here on the right side. And then she puts biscuits in the oven, and then they show her with a full American breakfast, and then she pets the dog. That's it. 31 seconds. Yeah, it's almost meaningless. It's almost meaningless. I don't see anything. It is the press pitting one woman against the other. That's all it is the press making something out of nothing. Now, I have not screened these. I saved them earlier, and then when I was prepping, I just threw them up there. So let's discover it together. Gwyneth Paltrow continues to throw shade, and I'm here for it. No makeup in her actual kitchen. All right. Didn't Meghan just do a makeup-free video when she got excited about the Billie Eilish merch? Wasn't that a makeup-free Meghan? I'm just asking for a friend. So they make it sound like Meghan's afraid to go without makeup. We know she is not. When it comes to going without makeup, Meghan is fearless. All right, next. Even the music that Natalie Cole, This Will Be an Everlasting Love. Okay, fine. Laugh Out Loud. Isn't this the song they keep using in the Meghan Markle promo? I don't know. Ever since, well, anyway, it is a favorite rom-com song. It is a happy feel-good song, and a lot of people use it. Next. And being as relatable as she can be in her PJs, hair not styled, no makeup, sipping coffee, no one praising her, just her phone filming, simple and easy. So you know that that's a troll right there. And I promise you, these people are probably not even subscribed to Gwyneth Paltrow. They only watched it because they heard it was a takedown. Gwyneth, go Gwyneth, and she has the real dog in her own real kitchen on her own real property. Is it her kitchen? Because if I'm correct, I do remember that woman who said she worked for, I think she said anyway, she is certain that Goop has a set kitchen and that everybody in the industry has a set kitchen. Now, Meghan has filmed in her own kitchen, but she doesn't film a TV show in her kitchen. But when she's using her phone and she's doing something really quick, just like Gwyneth Paltrow did. So there's a difference between Meghan working for Netflix with a camera crew and Meghan who is making cookies for the Drew Barrymore show in her kitchen. These people are just so desperate. They're so hungry to do the I gotcha. Okay, now let's go on the right side here. Ooh, she's been doing these kinds of videos forever. Let me see. Don't think she is throwing shade. I just think she is showing off. That's what she does. And she would not make fun of anyone because of everything that's been thrown her way. Okay. Next, oh my God, Gwyneth has been doing this pre-Meghan ain't throwing shade. And lastly, shade at ? I'm not getting it. Okay, so there you go. There are 4 people who do not believe that there's shade, and there are 5 people who believe there is. Oh, yes, yes. Team Sussex Warrior. I remember that day. because they were so desperate to get an image of Meghan, they did not even notice Gwyneth Paltrow and Carmen Diaz. I repeat, they were so busy clocking Meghan and taking her photo that they didn't even notice the other people that she was with. You know what? Let me look for that article. Okay. Uh, okay, Sussex Team Warrior. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. Now, Harry and Meghan's new celebrity. Oh, let me drink some water. Harry and Meghan's new celebrity friends, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, dine at sushi restaurant in Montecito with A-lister star Cameron Diaz and Gwyneth Paltrow as they are spotted on their first night out since coronation. Now, when they first ran the story, they didn't even notice the other two. I remember that. So this is not the first of that story. But yeah, that was 15th of May, 2023. Okay, but that causes me a bit of problem because didn't Gwyneth Paltrow say she didn't really know Meghan? Now, was she just being sarcastic or was she being shady? Unfortunately, I'm back to square one. I am back to square one because now I'm wondering, was she being sarcastic or was she being shady? I am back to square one with Gwyneth Paltrow. Yep, I am back to square one. So much for progress. Okay. Page 6 reported a few days ago later that the Sussexes didn't go out solo. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. Listen to this. When it was first reported, this is how this is why I said they didn't notice the other people. And it's right here in this Town and Country article. It says Page 6 reported a few days later that the Sussexes didn't go out for dinner solo. They were reportedly joined by Gwyneth Paltrow and her husband Brad Falchuk, Carmen Diaz and her husband Benji Madden, and Whitney Wolf Hurd, Bumble CEO, and her husband Michael Hurd. Yeah, there you go. Notably, Prince Harry wrote about Diaz in his memoir, Spare, in reference to rumors that the two had dated. Oh, my goodness. Sussex Team Warrior, thank you so much for that. So, why would Gwyneth Paltrow allude to this idea that she didn't know Meghan that well? I just think she was being sarcastic. I don't think she was trying to be shady. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. She was doing an interview about her products and she just wanted to distance herself from Meghan so that they would stop asking questions about Meghan. I'm going to just assume, I'm going to pretend that that's all there was to that. Okay. Good night, Renee Demonia. No, she was trolling. And trolls, I bet. No, she was trolling the trolls, I bet. Okay. Okay, I got you. Baron, I think she didn't want to feed the beast. It is how the Suits cast at the Oscars or Emmys can remember. Okay. Can't remember. They said they didn't have her number. I got it. I got it. Yeah, I'm not going to assume the worst. I am not going to assume the worst. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Thank you guys, because I I was getting a bit worked up about it. Whew. Now, let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something else. I thought this kid was adorable, and I cannot wait to share this with you. I cannot wait to share it with you.
I just binge watched every episode of Meghan Markle's new cooking show. Of course, I had to try the pasta for myself. This one pot pasta is everywhere on the internet. It comes together in one skillet, so it's perfect for a quick dinner. Gather tomatoes, garlic, lemon, and favorite leafy green. Add a handful of pasta, cover with water, and cook for 8 minutes. In the pot, the starch is developed in that iconic light and creamy sauce that makes this pasta unforgettable. And of course, don't forget to top with all the parm your heart desires. That is so good. Creamy, but there's no cream in it. That's incredible. This meal's fit for a princess. I just binge watched every episode of Meghan Markle.
Okay, I hope that wasn't too loud. But yeah, I like this kid. He is adorable. Just, no fuss, no trolling. He just binge watched, he cooked, he enjoyed it. I like it. I like it. I love where we are right now with Megan's lifestyle show. Now, I would love to give this kid some credit, but I do not see a an account for him. So I don't know if I don't know where this came from, but he's said that this was a meal fit for a princess. We have a troll? There's a troll? Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Marshall says, I made the one. Marshall, where have you been all this time? I don't think I've seen a comment from you yet. I made the one pot pasta dish, and oh my God, it was delicious. I ate 2 bowls and fell out to sleep. I had such a good sleep and feel great. I make this often. Okay. Well, let me tell you what I've been eating for the past couple days. The other day, I said to myself, I want some bok choy. I have not had bok choy in years. Do you hear me? Years. I have not had bok choy. So I went over to a Chinese supermarket where, that is like a staple of the Chinese diet is the bok choy. And I got a bag of baby bok choy and I cleaned it thoroughly. I broke the leaves away as I cleaned it and I put it in a nice chicken broth and some other seasonings. And I kind of made a soup out of it and it was delicious. I love bok choy. It is so good. Oh, you just woke up, Marshall. Okay. Well, I told you I might come back later. It was such a big news day. Okay. And finally, Meghan posted a picture. I wasn't sure when it was going to happen, but I knew it would happen. And Heart Mom replied with, "Love you, M. Thank you for always supporting our youth." And that's because not only did Meghan say happy birthday to Heart Mom or Kelly Zafin, but she also wore one of the t-shirts that I mentioned earlier on the other episode of Royal Sussex. Remember, this is the second Royal Sussex for today. So if you want to see the other one, it is available to you. I was on for like an hour and a half, so it's not as long as this video. So do check it out. There was so much news coming out today and yesterday, or yesterday and the day before, that I decided to do a second video. I went on earlier, then I came on again later. So there is the birthday greeting from Meghan. It says, proudly supporting Alliance of Moms and the powerful work they do to support moms and their children. Well done, Heart Mom, for your selfless love of so many. The world is better with you in it. Now, she didn't actually say happy birthday, but it was Heart Mom's birthday. And if you would like to see what those t-shirts look like, I can give you a better view of it as I shared it earlier. And not only do they have t-shirts, but they have the tote bags. And it is for Alliance of Moms. And if you want to make a donation, go to Alliance of Moms. I'm pretty sure it's a .org. And you can get the t-shirt and the tote bag for a donation. So on the right side, you can see what it looks like up close. They always have some really cool t-shirts for this organization. I do have some other ones I could show you. Okay. Nope. There we go. The other shirts, the one that says community motherhood. And then at the bottom, it says love like a mother. And even if you're not going to wear the shirt, you can actually address the shirt to someone else and you can make a donation to receive your shirts. And as I always suggest, make sure you invoke the names Harry and Meghan so that they know that it is the Sussex squad that are pushing those numbers up. Oh, thank you, Madison. Thank you. This is why they say it takes a village, because I have learned so much from the squad, And I always appreciate that because I don't think any of us should listen to just one person. I don't think any of us should just listen to one person. The intelligent thing to do is to get information from a few places and try to decide what makes the most sense. So thank you again for that. Oh, let me drag Prince William really fast. Prince William sends strong message from tank near Russian border. I told y'all the other day, I think William is trying to compensate. He's overcompensating. He must have a very unassuming appendage that he needs to sit in a tank with a big gun and wearing a big hard helmet on his head. He must be trying to compensate for his shortcomings, no pun intended. Prince William sends message to Vladimir Putin with Estonia visit. Why are they doing this to that man? Why are they trying to big William up? There is no world where Vladimir Putin is intimidated by Prince William. That does not exist. That does not exist. That has never existed in the history of this world. But yet, all these articles seem to be getting their talking points from the Kensington Palace crew. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. See there on the left side, there's William with the big gun pointed at us while he sits back in the tank. And I guess he's trying to intimidate Vladimir Putin. If they know what's good for them, they will send a message from Kensington Palace to the media and tell them to not do things like that. Oh yeah. Putin is shaking in his boots. Yeah, midlife crisis Willie. They really need to stop doing that. Okay. And of course, with all of the espionage, excuse me, I did not take my reflux medicine, and that's what happens. I have to make sure I take my medicine on time. I just took it late. You have to take it consistently to heal your innards. Okay. Gwyneth Paltrow has been doing a feature on Instagram called Boyfriend Breakfast. Oh, you know what? See, this is out of order. This should have been earlier. Boyfriend Breakfast since 2022. As says, Gwyneth often goes makeup free. Does the Daily Fail and the deranged trolls really think that Gwyneth needs to troll Meghan for clickbait cash like they do? No, I don't believe that. And you see there, you guys told me earlier, you said, it's nothing. And it really isn't. And unfortunately, I should have had this sooner, but I put it out of place and missed this one. Okay. And you know what? I have a lot of respect for people that go makeup free. I really do, because it is a way to take your power back. For women to go makeup free is the best demonstration of being a whole and secure individual who does not need to hide behind cosmetics. Now, to each their own, it's a personal choice. Anyone who does not ever appear in public without makeup, that's your business. But for the brave, fearless women that on the regular, especially women in entertainment and motion pictures and such, that is an incredibly brave thing to do. It really is. And it doesn't happen often enough as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Sussex Soldier says the loser, aka the British media, and their derangers are so desperate, so predictable. According to the British media, Gwyneth Paltrow, who is almost always makeup free, is mocking Meghan by being makeup free and in pajamas. They are very busy spreading their imagery about a rivalry. Thank you, Sussex Soldier. Oh, okay. It says here the people they are claiming in their articles as Gwyneth Paltrow fans are in reality haters, racist haters, derangers, aka Kate Middleton fans. Okay. I wish I would have had this up there sooner, but anyway, we got to it. And now that I think about it, that's probably another reason why Gwyneth Paltrow and Meghan appeared together, is because it just it's not helpful to have that kind of vitriol in association with either of their names. It really is not. Because for Gwyneth Paltrow, suddenly her social media has been inundated with those haters posing as Paltrow fans, hoping to whip up some type of competition or hysteria of some sort. And if that's not her core fan base, then better to sit together and appear in a united show of force than to let a disease like that fester. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Sussex Soldier also says between Gwyneth Paltrow and Meghan Sussex, and imagine rivalry that only exists in their mentally unstable heads. Meghan is living her life, a happy grown up life with her husband H and their kids. She has no time for childish and what is that imagery of excuse me, of British media and their, what is that, something derangers. Megan, is that Megan? What is MU? Anyway, again, thank you, Sussex Soldier. Yes, I did see that. I did see that. Wait, where is it? Here? Yeah. Well, and you know what? He's 90 miles from the border. He's 90 miles from the border. They make it seem like um that he's peering over the Berlin Wall or something when he's 90 miles from the border. And as I said so often, if I had $1 for everybody who lived within 90 miles from the Russian border, I'd be a millionaire. They're trying to make it seem like William is so brave. Now, I have another treat for you. Oh, you thought I was done? No. Makeup artist Daniel Martin. He was on a podcast called Breaking Beauty Podcast. Let me share this with you. Or as Miss One in The Wiz would say, catch this number, honey. Catch this number, honey. I love Miss One. Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are rough. You come from a different place, and I know you traveled far rough. Now that I told you what it is, I better point you toward the Wiz. He's the Wiz, and he lives in Oz.
Ideas for spring.
Oh, sorry. Let me fix that. Oh, let me go back and take a quick look at that. Oh, yeah, they're on the right side. Prince William threatened with a drone strike from Putin's cronies in terrifying statement. A senior Russian official has sent a terrifying threat to Prince William following his visit to Estonia. Prince William has been threatened. Oh, God. Yeah, right. And what was the other one? Right, you're right. You're so right. If it was a real threat, they wouldn't even mention it. Or they would wait until he was well clear. And you know what? You know what? This right here on the right side, that's just like the idea that they were that Russia, China, no, Russia, was it Russia, China, and Iran was targeting the medical records of Kate Middleton to destabilize the British government. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. That never made any sense. Oh, you know what? I'm talking into the back of the microphone. I hope you guys could hear me. I was talking into the back of the microphone. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you. I did not know that. Okay, you guys, let me go ahead and play this one.
Honored.
Okay.
It was the Paley Center.
Yes.
As well?
That was
Oh, you know what? Let me do this one first.
like,
Yeah.
oh, she went to
Wait.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can you repeat?
As well?
that was recently. Like,
Yeah.
oh, she went to her friend Tyler Perry was being honored.
Okay.
It was the
okay.
Paley Center
Yes.
honors.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
You see that? How the
Yeah.
glamour all
It's just like
over?
her
Did you do that
clavicle
or
looks
no?
like
Mhm.
it is
So
worth
what-
$1 million.
So what is
So that was the live tinted hue glow.
Oh, okay. Because I think that looked very fresh. Speaking of fresh ideas for spring, because I think a lot of people will sometimes, it's self tan or it's
forget
bronzer or nothing.
Yeah.
So what?
It was literally just that had like
Yeah.
head to toe.
Yeah. So what is that product? Is it like a
It's a
gleam?
serum.
Okay.
And it's in a bottle, a squeeze bottle. And a lot of times too, when people use a product like that, they just focus on the face. They don't really
Mhm.
focus it but I
as well?
that was recently.
Okay, that was one. Let me do another one for you.
I'm
pretty.
wearing it with the Road lip liner.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful because it just kind of manipulates.
I have one more question before we let you go. I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you did Meghan Markle's look for the Invictus games in December, or am I wrong?
I wasn't with her.
Oh, okay. It was on your
Wait.
Instagram.
Maybe not the Invictus games. Was it
Or
something
maybe it was
else?
something else, but she was like super glowy, and it was all whatever you used or somebody used was all over her shoulders and décolleté as well.
That was recently. Like,
yeah.
oh, she went to her friend Tyler Perry was being honored.
Okay.
It was the
okay.
Paley Center
Yes.
honors.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
See that? How the
Yeah.
glimmer all
It's just
over?
like her
Did you do that
clavicle
or
looks
no?
like
Mhm.
it is
So
worth
what-
$1 million bucks.
So what is
So that was the live tinted Hue Glow.
Oh, okay. Because I think that looked very fresh. Speaking of fresh ideas for spring, because I think a lot of people will sometimes, it's
They
self-tan or it's
forget
bronzer or nothing.
Yeah.
So what?
It was literally just that had like
Yeah.
head to toe.
Yeah. So what is that product? Is it like a
It's a
gleam?
serum.
Okay.
And it's in a bottle, a squeeze bottle. And a lot of times too, when people use a product like that, they just focus on the face. They don't really
Mhm.
focus it. But I wanted it to be a part of
The
and I
look.
just wanted it to be a part of her face and just
Yeah.
Yeah.
how she looked. But my my makeup inspo was actually the Pat McGrath glass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What she did at Couture.
Yeah,
Gel-
for
Gelly.
Margiela.
Yeah.
Margiela, yes.
I think that was the most. That was like a breakthrough.
Mhm.
Like that was what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Mhm.
A breakthrough beauty moment, runway, backstage,
Mhm.
like old school, like how we all fell in love with fashion and makeup.
Yes.
That was such a fucking moment
Mhm.
that I was like, how do I do this? How do I get that same effect, but using what we have? Because at the time, her product wasn't out yet.
Right.
Right.
I was just about to ask you if you've tried the product.
Yeah.
And
You can't move your mouth. You can't
see, talking
speak.
about best of spring. This is the real tea.
This
Yeah.
is so like the box though, right?
Yeah.
Like what you would wear back in the day in like that club where it's like you can't move your mouth. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's the
Shut the
look.
fuck up.
It
You
calls
look amazing.
You don't need to talk.
You don't need to
It's called
talk.
Skin fetish peel off glass.
Ugh,
Skin
it's-
fetish glass artistry
beautiful.
mask. And
Yeah.
it's like,
She's a fucking genius.
yeah, ultimate runway secret now accessible to you. It's
Amazing.
such a cool, it almost looks AI,
Yeah.
you know?
Or you can runway to real life with the lip tinted serum. What's it
Yes.
called? Which serum?
It's called Hue Glow.
Hue Glow.
The shade that I used on her was like it was a gold. There's 3 different colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was runway to reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pulling out all my editor tricks from back in the day.
Obsessed.
Totally.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you so much for sharing all of your tips and tricks. Everybody follow Daniel Martin and everybody watch this episode on
Oh, I really like it with
It's pretty.
Okay, so they went on to another product and another person, and then they came back to Meghan, I believe. So, yeah, very interesting to hear Daniel Martin speak about anything for that matter, but in particular, we're always glad to hear him speak about Meghan. Okay. Thank you, Golfing Mom. Appreciate that. Yeah, I only feel bad about the fact that, this was, I believe, Harry's first big something that he's been a part of for half of his adult life. And it's just a shame that things have kind of fallen apart. But I guess in some way, form, or fashion, he's always going to be a part of things, but just not in the same way. So I don't know what happened there, and I hope for the sake of the people that they help that this won't affect the funding and the outreach and such. What a magic night for Meghan. She does look beautiful. I love this where I think she walked through she went out the back and made her entry and exit from this party, and looks like she had hopped in a big Escalade or something like that. And here's an old throwback pic of them. I believe this is from, I think they were in Brighton. I think they went to Brighton. Now, since we're on the topic of Meghan a lot more, do you guys remember this from last year? Where's Meghan? Where's Meghan? When Harry went to New York, where's Meghan? Where's Meghan? Now, Meghan is everywhere, and they can't stand it. They just need to make up their flipping minds. You're upset when you don't see Meghan. You're upset when you do see Meghan. Make up your doggone mind. Meghan is where she chooses to be, okay? That's where Meghan is. See there? This is from October of 2024. Where's Meghan? Why Harry is going it alone? Royal observers say there is a new strategy to remind people of the prince they loved. Who is this? Hannah Furness? I don't think that is a strategy at all. Harry has his business. Meghan has her business. Also, Harry and Meghan have young children. They have a home to maintain. They have other business things happening. And so, like any family with two incomes, you're not going to be everywhere together. They're not a double act. They're Harry and Meghan. They're not a double act. There's not, mandatory that they go and appear on stage together. When it's very important, they're together. When there's things that requires just the one person, sometimes they sit in the audience and look upon each other adoringly, and sometimes they just don't show up. Not a big deal. They don't know anything. Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. See there? Harry goes solo. Wait, hold on. Sussex goes solo. What y'all playing? Don't play in our faces. See that? Anything to keep it going. Oh, yeah. Yeah, all a ploy to pit them against each other. And of course, since, thank you, by the way, Lex, since this, and this, and this, and this, Harry appeared on that, that guy in New York that he went and sat down with. I forget the name of it. And he was saying how he feels sorry for the trolls and that they keep hoping and wishing that something is terribly wrong, but there's no there. It's just not. Meghan is home counting her coins. She's her own woman and doesn't need her husband to build her up. Where's Kate? There you go. Oh, okay. I guess I am done. Well, thank you so much, Mod Squad. And thank you for keeping this the safe space that it is. And thank you to everyone who purchased memberships for other people who have their own memberships and so on and so forth. Thank you all very much. It has been a pleasure as per usual. And if there's any interesting news that comes out early tomorrow, then I will come on early tomorrow. Although, I kind of prefer the late hours. But don't forget, Royal Sussex was on earlier today. And you do have the opportunity to catch that live as well. We didn't cover all of the same topics, so I think you'll enjoy it. It was very interesting in my mind. I think it was very interesting. Let me take a quick look at the Instagram and see if there's anything new before I go. Oh my God, you guys. GB News, as shared by one of the squatties, GB News is all over Meghan and Gwyneth Paltrow. They're all over it. Oh, it says, so Susanna made the pasta, says one of my sources on Twitter. You guys, GB News. I'm going to watch these, by the way. I'm not looking at I'm not giving them any clicks. It's one of the squatties that posted it. But I'm going to watch it and I'll probably talk about it later today or tomorrow, whatever. But oh my goodness, this is like one of the best things that has happened to Good Morning Britain in a while because they are all over it. Oh, thank you, Ingrid Sowers. And thank you, Cookies and Cream. Leg says, isn't it weird Kate doesn't have any friends? You could say it is down to communication, but you would have developed a strategy. By this point, she is a mean girl. We know this, and they do too. Yeah. With everything else, all of these extraordinary measures that they've gone through to try to blur the image of Meghan and do an overlay of Kate Middleton. Okay, the clothes, check. Hugging and embracing people, check. Perhaps the selfies, check. What else? I'm trying to think what else. Well, the usual busy work stuff, sure. The one thing that they don't try is public speaking. They just don't touch it. The other thing is good girlfriends. If they had the means to make that happen, they would. But Kate has no friends. The mean girl does not have any friends. She doesn't lunch with anybody. She doesn't vacation with anybody but family. It is unusual. It is unusual. Even Queen Elizabeth would go to the horse races and such. But when Kate goes to Wimbledon, she's either with Pippa or she's not. I'm trying to think, has she ever taken a friend to Wimbledon? I don't think so. Outside of her family, nothing. Whatever connection that she had with Rose Hanbury, that doesn't seem to have yielded anything. That is strange. And it's just like I was saying when she was in the hospital. There were several ways that they could have brought much needed attention to the Princess of Wales by, demonstrating that the public at large really cares about her plight. But they did not. They had no way to demonstrate that. They didn't have, there was like no flower deliveries. And we know what she had in terms of flowers because when she left the hospital, it was just a very odd looking plant that her assistant had in the passenger seat and nothing else. Nothing else. Now, if it was concealed somewhere, fine. But I don't think so. And she does not look well. Kate does not look well. She looks medicated. She looks very medicated, in my opinion. Oh, friends with the sick old man, huh? Okay. All right. Well, I think we're done. Again, this has been interesting. I thought I was going to be on for an hour, but I feel like I've learned some things and I appreciate that. And hopefully, what other people shared may have been beneficial to you. It certainly has been beneficial to me. Um, well, let me see. I mean, Kate is what, 42, 43 years old? Queen Elizabeth had been riding around doing engagements since she was a teenager, right? And doing solo engagements very early in her time on, as Princess Elizabeth, and then, of course, eventually Queen Elizabeth. She took on that work. I mean, yeah, she was kind of stiff and very 1992. I mean, not much had changed from age 25 to age 95. But she had the confidence to go and do those things. When Kate does something solo, they park the car far away. She parades towards the door. She sits and talks to people one-on-one. Then they put her at a table. Not much else to it. You never see her open anything. I don't know that I've ever seen Kate pull a cord to show a placard of any kind, a plaque. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. She does not have young women that look up to her. She just doesn't. They could not inspire young women. I'm talking like high school, You know, not those kids that get all tanked up on sugar and then put those flags in their hand and they start waving them like, "Yee! Yee!" You know, like that. I'm not talking about those kids, but I'm talking about young women, adolescents, people in high school, kids in high school. She does not inspire that. They do not see themselves in her. And yet, even when Meghan was carrying out official royal duty as a senior royal, and then, of course, before she married into that family, and since she has moved to California, nothing has changed. Young women still look at her with awe and excitement. They still look at Meghan with awe and excitement because they can see themselves. They can see what they want out of life. And as I shared earlier from that Wall Street Journal article, where the one lady said that one of her friends back in the UK, for the love of the royal family and the institution, this person absolutely loathes, I mean, just cannot stand Meghan. But yet, that same person said, "Ooh, I got to get that sweater she was wearing. Oh, I got to get that." Such is Meghan's influence. Oh, you said Lizzie was programmed. Yeah. But still, Kate went to the finest schools. Kate, um, you know, she took theater and such. She did things that should have um, instilled some type of presence in mixed company. She's had those elocution lessons and such. And somehow she has just never been able to pull it together. Do you guys remember when what do you Princess Diana represented the royal family at Grace Kelly's funeral? And yet, Kate has made one, and I do mean just one solo trip abroad as a senior working royal. And that was Denmark, where they still trying to figure out, why is she here? One trip, one solo trip abroad. That's it, and that's all. Okay, you guys, 3 hours. We're good, right? Love you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking this fantastic journey with Royal Sussex. I really, really do appreciate it. What as weird as things has been in the past few months, if there's anything that has helped me stay focused, that has helped me deal with the grief and everything, it has been this community. So I do thank you all for that. All right. Miss Z, hit the like before. Yes, thank you, Miss Z. Going to that late night party with Sir Richard Branson wearing her mama's clothes. Ooh, that was an ugly outfit, wasn't it? Oh, it was awful. When I saw what Kate was wearing, I could have just upchucked right there on the spot. What a dreadful, drab way for an adult woman, a young woman at the time, dressing like that. Oh, it was awful. It was just dreadful. It was terrible. Terrible. And now William's a billionaire, and she still don't have access to nice clothes. I think it's only been a handful of times when I've said, no, she looks nice. She really looks nice. But for the most part, she looks a blessed fool. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, William is a billionaire now. You should have dress fittings several times a week. Keep streaming, keep watching, knowing every da 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 da. For sure, that's what squads are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what squads are for. Okay. Now you know it's time to go. Okay, I'm out of here.